Hello, everybody. Welcome to our second ever theatrical tasting.
That's right.
We just went to the theater for the first time since the last theatrical tasting, which was Sinners.
Right.
Yeah, and this time it is a sunny, warm Labor Day weekend here in Los Angeles, and we watched a movie that was surprisingly on theme for Labor Day. That was a bit unexpected, that it was going to be this on theme for Labor Day, of a lowly laborer who can't get proper health insurance and can't pay his bills based on what he makes, even though he works full-time at a very rich corporation. And that is the Toxic Avenger movie, the new Toxic Avenger movie starring Peter Dinklage, directed by Macon Blair, or Mason Blair. I actually don't know. I think it's Macon, actually.
Oh, is it?
I think it's Macon Blair. But honestly, guys, sorry, I know the actor/director fairly well. His work, anyway. I don't know him personally, but yeah, I don't know how to pronounce his name. But we just saw the new Toxic Avenger. Now, seeing it in the theater, I think, was kind of important for me, at least, probably Dallas too, just because to support it, but also this is the unrated version. I have no idea if that means it won't be unrated when it hits streaming services and whatnot. I don't think so. I think anyone interested in this movie, they'll probably release two versions at the very least, like an unrated and a more family friend. Not that this movie could ever be family friendly. I don't know why.
Oh, it's wonderfully family friendly, depending on your family.
Fair. So, we've actually done the OG Toxic Avenger on this podcast before, and that was, you can look that up with artist Fred Harper, who did the brand new Toxic Avenger comic book.
Yeah.
So you can always go ahead and take a look at that. But we're going to talk about this new movie. So, this was... This was a movie that played film festivals like years ago.
Yeah. 2023, right? I think, was production day.
The debut at a film festival.
Yeah.
Was
so they wrapped at the beginning of the year, I think.
Maybe, okay, but shot in like 2022 or something like that, like just post-pandemic type of a thing. And they could not find distribution to save their lives. Not that we're giving them good offers, so I think there were certain streaming services that were interested, but they couldn't make their budget back and give their investors like a decent payout.
Right.
Based on, and of course, it's like a one-time payment. You're never seeing anything else on streaming services. And they also were holding out for theatrical. Now, we're going to talk about how wise it was to hold out for theatrical. We had a great time. But we were two of, maybe 5 people?
Yeah,
in that
7
whole
total.
Theater. Yep, on a holiday.
300 seats.
Yeah. In Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So, it was not... I don't know what kind of a marketing budget this thing had. Do we know? Try. Well,
budget is slated at $500K, which likely means this is a legendary pickup, Legendary Pictures pickup.
Legendary Pictures pickup, right?
Let's see.
I don't think they distributed it though.
I think it is distributed by. Interesting. So on Undo Medical Debt, it's a site that is specific to medical debt. It actually lists Toxic Avenger mops up at least $5 million of health bills. Cineverse forgoes new marketing stunts in favor of partnership with national nonprofit Undo Medical Debt. Now,
read on.
That's fantastic. An additional $1 million of burdensome health debt gets nuked for every $1 million at the domestic box office.
Nobody knew this.
Not a fucking soul.
No.
Not a soul.
Okay, guys.
Hold on. Let me keep.
Yeah.
You vamp. I'm gonna keep looking. Keep reading.
Okay, so.
All right.
Huh. So they made a deal with who to make that happen?
Wow. Okay. When the Toxic Avenger storms theaters this weekend, he won't be just melting faces on screen. He'll be melting medical debt in real life. In the Toxic Avenger, the new unrated horror comedy from Macon Blair, Toxic has his life upended and unexpected medical debt. Okay, I got it. Let me.
So apparently, if you guys go see it in the theaters, you'll be helping to wipe out medical debt as well, on top of supporting an independent, relatively independent. Yeah, it was an independent film. It was like equity.
What?
Financed.
What? Okay. So here's the deal. According to Undo Medical Debt, the site, at least $5 million in medical debt gets erased no matter what.
Whoa.
And for every $1 million the movie makes at the box office, another $1 million in debt will go up in smoke. Wrap your brain around that.
Okay.
This debt relief is possible thanks to a partnership between Cineverse, who I think is the distributor, of course, a Next Generation Entertainment studio, and Undo Medical Debt, a national nonprofit dedicated to helping families pay off burdensome health care. That's fascinating.
Wow. Okay, that's totally why we went to go see this movie today.
Yeah, right.
we were totally good. No, this is the problem with not having a big marketing budget behind you, though, right? Is you don't get the word out, and people aren't as aware. Well, everyone, it's still in theaters, and forget just going to see a movie in a theater. Think about what you can do if this is playing near you. I have no idea how wide this release was.
Sorry.
You're just marveling over this.
Yeah, I'm marveling at this because can you imagine how many people would have gone solely
just for that?
Film, solely on that.
Yes.
Solely on that.
Yes.
Idea.
Yes. And this is just published on some website called Undo Medical Debt.
Let's see.
Did like the fucking Hollywood Reporter cover this? Like, what the hell?
Okay. Formerly RIP Medical Debt is a Long Island City-based 501 charity focused on the elimination of, clearly, medical debt, founded by... I remember hearing about this guy. He started this. He and his wife, I think, were in banking.
You say his name. It'll be helpful.
Founded in 2014 by former debt collection executives Jerry Ashton and Craig Antico. The charity purchases portfolios of income qualifying medical debt from debt collectors and healthcare providers and then relieves the debt.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were covered on a number of places. But I think CBS Sunday Morning did a cover.
Can you do me a favor? Can you just type in Toxic Avenger Medical Debt? Just see what covered this. What even reported on it?
Indeed. Looks like Gizmodo.
Okay, Yahoo Gizmodo.
Let's see when, though. August 28th. Okay, so that was just last week.
Couple days. NPR.org. That's not bad.
Yeah, we got NPR, Forbes. We got LA Times.
Okay, LA Times. That's nice. That's nice.
Okay.
But no industry. Screen Rant. There we go. Screen Rant. That's
just
something.
5 days ago.
All right, cool.
Tatiana Hollander. Familiar with her.
Good deal.
Let's see what she says real quick.
Well, I'm gonna do a little Substack post
for sure,
just on this,
for sure,
just so people know, because we gotta spread the word on this. This is the coolest thing.
For sure.
We didn't even realize, and we were like, sure, Toxic Avenger, it's gonna be amazing.
Okay, this is the press release from Lauren McCarthy, the SVP of Marketing at Cineverse. Quote, we spent hours brainstorming how to close out the campaign, and while sending Toxie to the moon was appealing, no idea came close to combating unexpected medical debt for families.
Agreed on that.
The Toxic Avenger had his entire life upended by crushing medical costs, so Toxie says sometimes you have to do something, and this is the something they decided to do.
Amazing.
Fucking amazing. I'm a little...
I'm a little stunned, too.
I'm a little
the words aren't coming. But that is phenomenal. And, all right, so...
Wow.
Not only did they get a theatrical release, which they held out for a while, we were going...
Side note, real quick.
Yeah?
Undo Medical Debt, founded in 2014, again, as a national nonprofit that has succeeded in abolishing, get this number, $22 billion of medical debt.
That's not bad.
Since 2014.
That's not bad. I mean, it's not a lot.
It's a lot to the people individually. That's
100%. I'm just like, in terms of how much medical debt we are swimming under, especially over a decade's worth. It's like that's a drop in the bucket. But someone is doing something. More power to them.
I hate processing on
real time. No, because you just go silent. You just stop talking.
Which makes me think, again, we did have a discussion about, the merits of a streamer release versus a cinematic or theatrical release, and it makes me think with
There's no reason a streamer release couldn't do this too.
True, but I can't imagine an idea like this, like Toxic Avenger, being as potent.
On streaming?
On streaming.
No, I think it's more potent.
Yes.
Yeah, well, then we're going to disagree vehemently on this because
the message is such a message for the times.
So,
I think
streaming is more of the times than theaters.
I think streaming, the mechanism itself, allows us to kind of just ingest and move the fuck on. The cinematic experience in a theater is a marquee experience, right? The ingestion of the ideas and the themes in a film are just, it's a different mechanism. When I'm watching it on the small screen, when I go to my Netflix or whatever and hit play, in general, because of the fucking options, it just kind of exists in this nebulous kind of cloud of stuff.
That's you. That's not me. I gotta tell you.
I think for most people, the cinematic experience on the big screen leaves a deeper impression.
Sometimes. I think it largely depends. One, a lot of theater going these days is families with kids that are trying to take the kids somewhere and watch something with them. How much are the adults really engaged at that point? Because they're just wrangling the kids and getting the family into the theater, and they love that their kids love it, and they're very happy for the experience. But are the adults getting as much out of it for that reason? I don't know. I would argue that adults being able to focus on something after the kids go to bed might be leave more of an impact on them than the family experience with the kids. The experience is something, but the movie itself and its messages, I don't know. On top of that, yes, streamers don't want to. They want to incentivize binge watching, and they want to incentivize like playing things in the background, because then they just get numbers. They just get math, and that's what they want. They just want the data driven. They want the data. Like
they want the numbers.
They want to say that it's been watched blank amount of times, this many minutes, whatever. They don't care the quality of those minutes. I think, though, even streamers are starting to, not that they've turned a corner yet, but I think part of the crisis right now and why streamers have started to not pay as much per thing, and why streamers are also trying to figure out what is our business model going forward, is they're realizing that even though we like to say, and I've said this before on this podcast, this argument, but the idea that like data-driven is because it's numbers, because you can't argue, It's fact-based, right? But your interpretation of that data is not. That is the same human, up for human foible, fallibility as it's ever been. And the interpretation of these numbers, historically, to date, has just been, these numbers are, the most meaningful is the binge watching, playing in the background, but it's not, because people are so disengaged that then they can switch streaming services and they don't care what it is that's playing in the background, they just want something playing in the background. And now you've got this churn, you have no loyalty to any particular streaming service or any particular program per se. So I think even streamers are starting to realize, okay, the way we've been interpreting this data isn't as helpful, isn't keeping us in the red as much as we wanted it to.
Yeah.
And so I do think that even with streaming, and something like Toxic Avenger, this is kind of like, we're about to, after this episode drops, we're going to be covering K-pop Demon Hunters, so talk about streamer. And this was, K-pop Demon Hunters was something that was a bit of a streaming sensation because Netflix did not really advertise it. They did not push it. They didn't try to make it a big hit. It just grew organic word of mouth. And that is what I think this movie needs.
I don't know if organic word of mouth is...
It was.
Because...
TikTok is organic word of mouth.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but go.
Yeah, TikTok is organic word of mouth. Because it's just individual people doing it. So TikTok is organic word of mouth. Doesn't matter that the platform doesn't matter, because the platform does not lift up, and we've had this discussion recently, it's a very weirdly egalitarian platform where it's like everything's just as good as anything else, we're just throwing it at you. It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter how many followers you have. And so something like K-pop Demon Hunters, in the same way that there was the Barbenheimer thing that happened, and I'm not saying that like plainly Netflix, once the word of mouth, once it was happening,
they capitalized on it.
They were like, oh shit, and jumped all over it, right? Same thing with Barbenheimer. Once it was happening, the studios were like, well, we'll push Barbenheimer too, but I don't think it originated with them. And people can feel that authenticity.
That swell, that authenticity.
In the like why am I hearing about this? And I will even say with K-pop demon hunters, like most middle-aged white men out there, like when I first heard the title, it sounds like AI slop, right? It sounds like something that was like literally churned out of a factory for people to give a shit about in this modern day and age. But then the thing that kept bringing people back to it was like, oh no, shit, it's good. It's well done. It's charming. It's better. These songs are great. The way it's put together. Anyways, we're going to do its own episode on that. But I think Toxic Avenger could have benefited. I think it will, when the time comes, benefit from that. I don't know how much. We'll find out. It's been out for, a week? At this point, this was the first week, I think?
I think it was the first week. I think Thursday hit theaters.
Okay, so this is opening weekend. So we'll see if word of mouth helps this one grow.
Yeah.
It was very disappointing being in the theater today with so few people in that theater. But I don't, even when I heard a year ago that they were having trouble finding distribution for this, and, I heard that the filmmakers were holding out for theatrical.
For theatrical, yeah.
My gut was, that's dumb. My gut was, this is not the movie, and I get it. It is a movie for midnight screenings.
Yeah,
it is a movie for art house cinema. It is a movie for, that sort of repertory cinema where it's like, it's a special screening. Everyone's going to come. We're going to have a great time. Cinephiles, midnight movie crazy people, genre film lovers, they will eat this up.
Yeah.
Is this for the mainstream? Can this fill theaters wide?
Yes.
And no, it can't. Unfortunately, it can't. I mean, do I want it to? Yes. Can it? No.
Yes, absolutely. Here's why.
And realize you just saw the evidence in front of your face today. This was opening weekend on a holiday.
I think, honestly, this is one of the first times when I've authentically been able to say that this film would have benefited so much from a really glossy marketing push, because it caters to two things. The over 40 crowd who longs for the cinematic theatrical experience more, at least when they're getting something for their money. That's for our generations. If we're getting something for that money, something that's original, something that's authentic, something that sort of, makes us feel like it's a new experience, we're generally going to try to show up.
Okay.
This definitely does that. And secondly, it does feel extraordinarily current and prescient because of that tie-in, because of it oddly has that, I hate using the term Gen Z, but it has that energy of a new generation, right? Because
it does, but this is something that needs to be discovered.
True.
And that's
so you're right. Maybe it's not going to be opening week. It's clearly not going to be opening weekend. But does it grow? Does it build? Does it build?
If you don't have that marketing push
by opening weekend. That's
well,
right.
More than that. Right. I just think when it comes to theatrical, streaming is where you discover things organically.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Theatrical, yes, word of mouth can help theatrical grow, but I think less today than in the past.
Yeah.
Because people aren't attending theaters as much as in the past. And so I think
you have to hook them too.
Yes. Because even Barbenheimer, it was a marketing, the organic marketing concept happened pre-release.
Yeah,
and that's why by the time it released, it exploded. And even though it was organic and it wasn't a marketing concept that was internal, when it happened, they benefited from it in the same way as if they had, and they did have a huge amount of money to blow on these two movies, but I don't know if it would have worked as well as this organic one. But if you just release a movie in the theater and all you're betting on is enough people attending, spreading the word, and more people attending, I don't think that is the theatrical ecosystem as it exists today. I think that is almost impossible to happen anymore.
The lead needs to...
There's not enough in and out happening. There's not enough organic just watching movies. Take out cinephiles, take out people that try to watch that are literally like their reason d'etre is to try to watch everything every week, and they bemoan on social media how they can't watch everything every week. If you take those people out, which is a fraction of the population, no, people aren't just weaving in and out of theaters anymore the way we used to. So you need, if you want to be discovered, it's going to be streaming, and that's why I think this movie is tailor-made for streaming. It is tailor-made to be discovered, to get that word of mouth going, and I feel like the theatrical is just like, in the same way that it went to festivals and left a mark.
Oh, yeah.
And then years went by, and people just forgot about it. And even right after the festivals, people weren't champing at the bit. People weren't champing at the bit for it. By the way, guys, champing is the correct way to say that. Chomping is something we just made up because it made more sense in our heads. But the actual phrase is champing at the bit. Dallas has got to Google this. Oh, this was news to him. I'm pausing for this. This is great.
All right. Well, technically, yes, champing came first, but
no. Well, chomping is still.
Chomping is still expertly sort of.
Yeah.
It's,
I mean, colloquially, so many people say it, and champing is such a.
But what is language in that case? Right?
Sure. But I'm just saying, especially when it comes to like what was the phrase that we're trying to say.
Right. The etymology.
The phrase is champing at the best. Right. Yes. Because we didn't know what the fuck that was. We just came up with chomping because we're like, that does make sense, and it does make sense in its own way. So, but anyways, OG proper, it is champing at the bit.
Yep.
So I don't think no one was champing at the bit for this movie to be released. Even after I kind of was. I was. But again, we are the rare cinephiliac weirdos, and so we're like, ooh, we're ready for it. If we want this movie to be discovered, and I do. This is my what's the word I'm looking for?
Theory?
No, not theory. Prediction. This is my prediction. I do think when it hits streaming, I think it will be a little slow burn. I think it'll take a touch of time for people to realize what just happened, especially because it's called literally the same name as the OG. Absolutely. And it's like, no, it's a new one. Yep. And everyone should take a look. But this is so well made.
I think its streaming hit is going to be big.
Yes.
I do.
It's so well made. I do. So fun. Sorry about that. I just realized.
I know, totally.
We're drinking a wine flight and a beer flight, by the way, trying to pair with this movie just after seeing it. So we're going to talk about that in just a moment. But this movie, by the way, one thing I did want to point out on this movie. So the cast on this movie is insane. So for those who have not looked this up, it's Peter Dinklage, it's Kevin Bacon, it's Macon Blair who directed it and also has a little cameo in it. It is...
Wait, who's Macon?
Macon Blair? He's an actor.
No, who was he in the film?
Oh, he's the roommate when she comes home and tears the floor open.
Right.
And he's like, what the fuck
Stringy
did you do
guy.
to my floor? That's him.
Yeah.
So very indie darling, but indie darling made good. He's made a career out of it.
He's made the clown for sure.
Yes. And by the way, the female member of the band, the one on keyboards, is his wife. I had to look that up because I actually, for a brief moment, because this movie had a cast like this, I had to look it up. Actually, it was Mila Jovovich there for a second. With the makeup on and everything. I was like, I wonder if they got her to just cameo for a couple scenes. That'd be awesome.
I think she commands at least 10 million still per film.
Again, maybe she was like, as a favor.
That's possible.
Ooh, that's tannic. Okay.
Which one's that?
That's the Gelson's. Okay. But it's warmed up. It's warmed up out here quite a bit. It is a warm day, guys, and we're trying to record
this. We're drinking
outside.
Warm beer and warm wine.
Warm beer and warm wine.
Which technically
Duckhorn.
Duckhorn's solid.
Gelson's much better. No, that's actually not very good.
The Duckhorn?
No, it's not very good.
Interesting.
Duckhorn cab. I'm gonna...
Is the bottle off, or is it just...
I feel like it might... Maybe it's been open too long. Tastes a little like it's been open too long. Helping, and the heat's not helping, but that's not very good. But the Gelson's still good. The Gelson's is actually shockingly good.
Gelson's shockingly good.
Yeah.
Their whole series. Red, white, and the red.
Yes. Now, But yes, Kevin Bacon, Peter Dinklage as the Toxic Avenger, Jacob Tremblay as his son, Julia Davis as
who's going
Kevin
to be
Bacon's...
working so much more after this film, the son. He's going to be working
Jacob Tremblay's working.
No, but he's going to be working so much more after this.
We'll see.
He's fantastic.
And there's yet more all throughout this movie.
Who were the other cameos?
More than cameos too. There were a couple more big-ish names, I feel like, that we're forgetting already. Julie Davis, Kevin Bacon. Oh, Elijah Wood. Son of a bitch. Elijah Wood doing his best Danny DeVito as the Penguin impression.
Totally.
Yes.
Totally. It's not even subtle.
It's not. It's like, that's basically what they're doing. It's
Even
pretty fantastic.
The hair over there. I was like,
yeah.
When he first popped on the screen, I was like, oh, this is a very familiar character. Why do... Oh, right.
Yep. Danny DeVito is the Penguin in Batman Returns,
right.
very much. So yeah, it's a great cast. The special effects are off the charts. They're really good. Practical and CGI, it's a really great little blend for a low-budget movie. It's
500K
fantastic.
reported, which
500K
means
reported,
it's probably
yeah.
a 1.5, but...
Yeah, we'll see.
What was I looking up? All right.
That I don't know. Oh, cast.
Yep.
And something that does need to be reported. Let's talk about the body double
Yes.
of Toxic Avenger. So apparently, Peter Dinklage was not the one in makeup at all.
Right.
Period. So he does his role, which is like the first third of the movie before he becomes the Toxic Avenger. And then there is a lady called Luisa
Guerrero.
Who is she's not a stunt double.
She's the body.
She's the body. She's the one in there. And then Peter Dinklage she performs the entire thing. Physically, she says all the lines, but then Peter Dinklage came and AD'd.
Right.
Or ADR'd over that at the end. And so what he did is he recorded himself doing all the performance. She memorized the videotapes of that and then performed in makeup as like doing her best Peter Dinklage. And then Peter Dinklage came back and lipped ADR'd over her performance of him. And she's fantastic.
She's fantastic.
She's really, really fucking good. So I hope she is someone who will be at no loss for work after this movie. So pay attention to the person playing the body, because that is really important. Okay. Everyone go see Toxic Avenger. It's a it's a great update. Lloyd Kaufman makes a little appearance. He has a Stan Lee moment, like in the Marvel movies and whatnot. So, and then of course you will help wipe out medical debt. If you see it in the theaters, you'll see it in the theaters. And
that alone, take your ass to the theater and see this film for that alone.
And then see what you can do now. What are we pairing with this movie? I tried a Viognier as a white because it's very tropical fruity, a Viognier, and I thought maybe this movie is just so full. It's so full. It's got so much. So much happens in an hour and a half roughly of its runtime that it's just like it's a smorgasbord. So I'm like, okay, if I'm doing a white, I don't want it crisp and clean. I want it like fruity, but still not quite. I did a Whispering Angel Rosé. Maybe a rosé was going to work as something like that, but no, it's going to be. And you know what? This duckhorn is off, so it's not going to be the duckhorn.
That's out of the running? All right.
It's a cab. This is a cab. It's big, it's bold. This is a Gelson's cab. It's
big,
but balanced. Like it just sings. It sings while being juicy and big.
Which cab is that?
In your face. Gelson's.
That's Gelson's.
Gelson's cab. Believe me, guys, the Gelson's brand cab is like weirdly top notch. I don't know where that, and it's not cheap. So there you go. I think it's in like the $40 range. But it's got everything you're looking for in this movie. It's a lot. It's just a smorgasbord of everything. So go take a look. I say Gelson's cab out of the 4 that I tried here today. Yeah. Out of your beers over there, what are you thinking?
I'll tell you, it was difficult for me. I went with the beers. I thought initially when I was sitting in the theater, I was like, the first 5 minutes of the film, because of Dinklage's little performance, and by the way, the first 5-10 minutes of the film, he is just so endearing, and I love the idea of him as a leading man playing against all the sort of preconceived notions and all the nonsense that, how many minutes?
4 or 5.
Okay, good. And
I was just making sure we're still recording.
No.
I always spot check.
Right.
Every 5 minutes, I'm like, and?
Right. So I was thinking of something bold, deep and bloody and red. Mm-hmm. But as the film went on, it was just like, this has so much fucking heart that it's so annoying me.
It's, and life, and like energy.
Absolutely, so much energy, so much life. Joie de vivre.
Joie de vivre.
Joie.
Joie.
And of course, a white would contrast well. And I did think about a Viognier, actually. I almost got the Viognier on the menu here. I was like, not so much. And I wanted something a bit more chew, a bit more bite. So I decided to go with a beer. And the beers I have here, I have a porter, an ale, the chocolate porter, and the coffee porter.
Coffee porter, Smog City.
The Smog City coffee.
Which is just so spot on that we're like...
I mean, it's kind of...
I know, but we don't know if it... I don't know what it tastes. I'm not tasting it.
But to be fair, the Smog City porter, chocolate porter, coffee porter is it's the
one.
It's the one.
Okay,
it's the
perfect. Smog City coffee porter, guys.
It's chewy. It's got a great bite. There's a bitterness to it. To kind of complement the bitterness in the film, you got the central character whose medical debt is just clawing and, just ruining his life. And I think a coffee porter goes very well with that because it's got a little kick, got a little bite. Go see this film.
Yes.
Even if you don't want to, go see this
And if
film.
you're listening to this so much later when it's on streaming, Smog City Coffee Porter, Gelson's Cab Sauv, if you have any of those near you,
Both
or
are
go find a
Gelson's, by
coffee
the way.
porter, go find a nice deep dark bold cab that you like, that you think is balanced, and go do that with this film. It's so worth it. It's fun. It's got heart, as Dallas said. And it's a shame you missed it in theater because you could have helped wipe out medical debt.
It is. Up to $5 million.
But even on streaming, make it a sensation so people understand that these are the kind of films we want to watch.
The
And
idea.
that they should give better offers to them.
Absolutely.
Yes.
First of all, kudos to how creative this distribution deal, for lack of a better term, was. The idea that the production process of this film was so long. I think it started production technically in 2013. The rights were purchased in 2018.
Development, not production.
Pre-production. I know.
No,
Pre-pro.
I think development, not pre. You can't call that pre-pro.
I think development earlier than that, but we'll say pre-pro.
If you wait 10 years, that's not pre-pro.
Well, I consider pre-pro the moment I put my pen to paper.
Okay,
so.
that's not pre-pro, buddy. Seriously,
the moment
no, that is pure development.
The moment an idea pops into my head, it's pre-production.
The script is pure development. Sorry, people.
Moment.
Yeah, but let's we have to fit some. We can't just make up our own definitions.
Yeah, hell we can't. Welcome to Hollywood, baby.
No.
Welcome to Hollywood.
Yes, welcome to
That's how we
Hollywood,
got
where
here, man.
development does not include the script. Anyway,
Absolutely does. But anyway,
I'm sorry, pre-production.
but seriously, kudos to everyone involved who that stroke of genius to align themselves with an unpaid debt organization.
Sure. It's great. It's brilliant.
It's
Yeah.
just.
I mean, they had years to put it
They
together.
had years to put it together.
So there is
But
that.
to be fair, that corporation, that nonprofit started in 2014, which is the year after pre-production started, or development.
Yeah, I
was taking
don't
place.
know. I don't know if that was in play. No one ever talked about it before now.
Yeah, exactly.
So who knows?
Exactly.
That'd be interesting.
It is
If this-
fascinating.
Maybe this is why they wanted and they
Right.
couldn't say it
Right.
until now. Maybe.
That's a consideration. That's
Consideration.
in hindsight, that makes sense.
Though, regardless, I do think that this is a movie that unfortunately, I would have been happy to be proven wrong in this instance, but I do think that this was not a theatrical movie in this day and age.
Yeah, I do.
Without a huge marketing push.
Agreed,
behind it.
100%. I also think you're right in your statement earlier in that the theatrical release seems more like a technical kind of default, where you release it theatrically in order to kind of get the provenance and sort of the accolades that come with a theatrical release and all the nonsense. But I'm pretty sure you're right. They know that their great swell is going to come from streaming.
Well, I mean, I don't think they know. I think they wanted theatrical for this reason. I think they're tied to theatrical.
so?
Yes, I think that's why they wanted it so bad. They pushed for it. Macon is part of the old world, Hollywood world.
That's true.
He really wants that. I think their investors probably are too. They always think that's what gives you the stars in your eyes, right?
Especially once
theatrical
Legendary
release.
comes on board.
Right.
Yeah.
Equity people want that red carpet moment. They want all that. They want the debut. They want the headlines that come with that. I just think in this day and age, it is in the same way that I've been giving a lot of movie people a lot of crap lately for not embracing renting on VOD, where it's give them fucking money.
Yeah.
Don't just wait for it to fall
That's
on
right.
Prime. Give them money, and they're like,
Use the $5 well.
If you can't see everything in the theater in 1 week, that's okay. Go rent the
That's right.
fucking thing
Rent
at
it.
home. And then that'll still support it and give it money. It'll support it possibly even more. They'll get more money directly than the movie ticket at a cinema would. So you can do more that way. But we poo-poo everything digital right now, just knee-jerk.
That's true.
We just refuse to accept
That's
it
true.
as legitimate as theatrical. And I get the reason we do that, but it's a little bit of a shame because there's so much gray area there. It's not that cut and dry. It's not that black and white, but we treat it that way, and we should have more nuance if we want to help movies.
It's true.
And quote-unquote cinema, because it's all cinema.
And to be fair, you and I have had this conversation before. I personally, I have no problem, and often prioritize it, spending the $5 to $12 or $19, whatever it costs to rent a film on streaming platforms, because of that very reason. It's like, if I want to go see a film in the theater, I'm going to spend $20. So, why not spend it when a greater chunk of that money might go to the actual creators? So,
All right.
Think of it as Blockbuster 20 years, guys, ago.
There you go. And again, if you're listening to this, our last theatrical tasting for Sinners got a little bit of attention while Sinners was still in theaters.
That's right.
It exploded once it hit streaming. So you're probably listening to this when it's now on streaming.
That's true. That's very true.
Which kind of proves the point. It
does.
Right?
You're right.
And Sinners did amazing.
By the way, I was not convinced. I will go on record as saying this. Dave actually mentioned in that Sinners episode when we first discussed it, or maybe it was off camera or off mic, but you mentioned a potential bump once it was released on streamers. I didn't believe that was going to happen, and then you called me and texted me.
Yeah, and our episode was it is now the most listened to downloaded episode. I can't say listen to, but downloads are what it tracks. And I mean,
that caught me off guard.
It literally, it's more than five-folded since it hit streaming on the listen. So it's like, and that is what's going to happen here.
I agree.
So poo-poo streaming all you want. It is what makes the current cinematic world go round.
It also makes me wonder, in terms of the interplay between those two things, between a theatrical release and
we're going to talk about this with K-Pop Demons next week, because K-Pop Demons did the inverse. It launched on streaming, and over 10 weeks just got bigger and bigger and bigger, because Netflix didn't put it on their top 10. They didn't put it on their homepage. They did not push it hard. But by word of mouth, it just happened anyway. It is the most watched movie on Netflix in history. Ever. Netflix has come on record and said yes.
Those numbers, though.
But this is the thing. Red Notice was the most before, and that was during the pandemic.
That was their rock vehicle, right?
Right, during the pandemic. Yeah. So that's why it hit so big, because it's not that good of a movie. Yeah. And this one, post-pandemic, without any theatrical release, and just by word of mouth alone, over 10 weeks, within those first 10 weeks, not only was it one of the least watched in its first week, now over 10 weeks, it's the most watched over the first 10-week period. Over 236 million full watches.
Wow.
Full watches.
Interesting.
Which is the only thing they count. And then they released it in theaters post that. Because of just how much it was. And they were the number one at the box office when they released it in theaters after it had already been seen 236 million times. So we're going to talk about this more in our K-Pop Demon Hunters episode, because it is that interplay between the two.
Absolutely. It
proves another dynamic between them that I think it might even be a little bit of the model going forward, where it's like, if something gets proved there, now release it in theaters and see what happens, and give people that experience if it's going to be worth it. But it costs so much money to put yourself in theaters. A marketing push. I don't even know how much they did as a marketing push. I don't think much. I think they just put it in theaters, and at that point, it just did what it did.
Probably based on relationship.
But it beat out everything else in the theaters when it did that. So anyway, we're going to talk about that more.
Expect those numbers.
Right. We're going to talk about that more and we're going to drop that next week. But for now, guys, Toxic Avenger, go watch it.
That's right.
Nice deep dark red cab, or a big bold red like that is balanced, that you like anyways, or a nice coffee.
Coffee porter
beer. If you can find Smog City, that is so on point for Toxic Avenger.
Almost too on point.
Where it's all about corporations soiling bodies and the land and whatnot. And by the way, go check out the Toxic Avenger comic. We've covered that as well.
That's right.
On our Substack, because it's a brand new one, and it's another take that's even different from this movie. This movie and that comic are like the best Toxic Avengers that have ever been. So go check it out, guys. All right, we'll catch you next week. Ciao for now. Oh, by the way, go check out our Substack, entertainmentstudios.com.
That's right.
We hope you follow us there. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Leave a rating and a review. It helps us. And we're out of here because we're in public and we're drinking and we're going to go have fun.
That's right.
And stop working because it's Labor Day. Assholes making us work. Making us work on
All right,
Labor Day.
wine. All right, later, guys.
Ciao, guys.
This is one of the coolest movie campaign partnerships I've ever seen. The Toxic Avenger hits theaters this weekend, and instead of doing a crazy flash mob or laser etching Toxie's logo into the moon, Cineverse released a statement saying that they have teamed up with Undue Medical Debt to take care of $5 million worth of unpaid medical debt. Undue Medical Debt is a nonprofit that helps people handle their ridiculous medical debt that is just ruining their lives. This partnership makes sense because in The Toxic Avenger, Winston Goose's life is completely upended by unexpected medical debt. But not only are they taking care of $5 million in medical debt, Cineverse also said that for every $1 million The Toxic Avenger makes at the box office, they're going to take care of another $1 million in unpaid medical debt. Because like The Toxic Avenger says, sometimes you just have to do something. And while I personally believe, and I would hope most of you agree, that medical debt just shouldn't fucking exist, this is at least doing something. Millions of people are affected by unpaid medical debt. We apparently collectively owe over $220 billion in medical expenses. Yes, that is insane. That is disgusting. My friend BJ wrote an incredible article for Slash Film about it that you should definitely read to get all the details. But all I can say is, hell yeah, Cineverse. I've got my tickets to see The Toxic Avenger tonight because it is in theaters now. You should absolutely go see it this weekend. I already saw it once. I loved it. I was already excited to see The Toxic Avenger again this weekend, but now I might have to go like once a day. Thank you, Cineverse, Bloody Disgusting, Screambox. I'm with Toxie. I hope you are too. Fuck yes.